Right, Bex, good evening, and welcome to our fabulous, my favourite call of the week, our Sunday night training with my amazing team. I say they're not really mine, you're not just mine, or we are ours, we are our team, but I suppose I like to use the word mine because I like to be selfish and pretend you're mine. Excuse the selfless. Excuse the selfish me, should I say. Anyway, so can I say, sorry, Rebecca, we actually have, so in terms of sometimes if people jump on the call and they're not in the business, if it's someone like Netta had a girl last week that was on the call with her, that's a bit of a different story because Netta's with her and Netta's obviously giving a bit more of an introduction to the business. But if it's a randomer like on the Zoom on their own, or you've not warned them this is a training call, or perhaps that English isn't their first language, I don't mean that with any disrespect, but like as of now, I didn't know we could remove people, but we will be removing people just because I want this call to be something quite exclusive to our team. I don't want it to be something that's willy-nilly anyone can get on because I just don't think what's the point. So really this week I'm winging this I've got no notes, but I know exactly what I want to talk about, and that's why I asked you all to specifically be on the call. What I really want to spread the message of to you all is sometimes you don't need notes. Sometimes you don't need notes to share what you really need to share. Like sometimes that's why, when I do the calls, my best calls are sometimes when I'm out and about and I haven't got anything to look at. And for me, that's because I think it really comes from the heart when I do it that way. And it's like Rebecca, I asked 2 hours ago to host the business. Asya, I asked an hour ago to do her product story. And Mum, I dropped it on her this afternoon. Mum has obviously done the products before, so it's not as much of a drop on for her. But for Rebecca and Asya, who are still pretty brand new to the business and still finding their feet, it's something that when you drop something on them and they turn around and they go, oh, I don't really want to do it, but okay. So I have to say a big congratulations to you both. I'm really proud of you both for stepping out of your comfort zone, because guess what? There is no growth in the comfort zone, right? So yeah, really big well done to both of you for stepping up and doing the call and just being able to just get in and dive straight in, because you know what, you'll never grow if you just sit at home and you just watch these calls and you don't get involved. Like, that will never happen. Like, I can't wait for the day that I can turn around to one of you guys, hey, I really want you to share something this week, what really works for you. When I think that someone can really add a lot of value to the call and stuff. And I really think that, obviously, when we do our London meetups, like this week was a bit difficult because it was Mother's Day. So I think everyone was either taking their mothers out or they were, they had commitments or etc. or their mum themselves, right? So I totally understand it and I get that. It's a holiday, I understand. But for Habiba, she's from Egypt, and her Mother's Day was 5 days ago for them. So they didn't actually celebrate it today. So she brought along her brother to come and meet me for a three-way, and he was so skeptical. My God, let me tell you. Oh my God, yeah. Look at Pussy. Look, what's her name? Pussy, not Pussy, Fancy, sorry. Andrea's pussycat is called Fancy. Fancy. Oh, Fancy. And every time he's on video, she gets like all over him, like on his face. So like, you got a pussy on your face. Sorry, I had to do that. Anyway, so what was I talking about? So Habiba's brother is such a skeptic, like, wow. And he's older than Habiba, so I also think there's that whole idea you don't want to, like, I didn't want to have my mum for 3.5 years. I didn't want to listen to her. And, sometimes as a family member and you don't want to listen to them. So it's really important to get three-way calls or three-way meetings. Or, I've said to, Jessie set me up with quite a few coffee meetings, but it just so happens that a few of them haven't been able to happen because whatever, we're all busy. But I said to Jessie, set up a three-way call on WhatsApp, and then at least I can talk to the girl myself. And we're actually got a call tonight at 9:45. And we're going to just sit and talk, and I'm going to do the follow-up 4 questions with her, which if you don't know them, I can send you them. But basically I don't do a three-way call with anyone unless they've watched a video, a prospect call. So please make sure that whatever prospect you introduce me to, they at least have watched a video, because otherwise I'm just quite frankly wasting my breath. And like today was a bit of an exception. Habiba's brother hadn't watched the call, but I didn't mind in the sense that I knew that she'd told him about the products and me and as much as she could, right? So I turned up and, you know, we were having a conversation. I was telling all about products, and he takes a lot of whey protein. So I was teaching him about that. And I never pretend to be an expert. I was like, you know what? All I know is that whey protein is absolutely terrible for you, and it can cause cancerous cells. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend to be, you know, a specialist on the subject, because I'm not, quite frankly. And he was like, okay, cool. People don't mind. It's okay to say that. There's a lesson I really want you to all learn. Like, that's the biggest lesson. One of the biggest lessons that I really want to teach you tonight is it's okay to not be an expert. Like, I would rather you pretend and say you know nothing than pretend you sit there and know everything, because no one's attracted to that. And the moment you start pretending you know everything, guess what? People are kind of like, oh, well, I don't want to be part of that, because you know, like, that's not teachable, and I can't do that because she's a scientist and I'm not a scientist, right? Which is why as well, like, tonight I was really actually really pleased that me and Andreas like took a back seat and just shared our stories, and, you know, I opened it and he closed it, because I mean, obviously I actually went in the room and my signal lost, but, you know, I was actually really glad that we had 3 people that weren't models or actors, because I mean, yes, you know, Ashley's involved in a way that she does beauty and hair and stuff, but at the same time I was really glad that we got to do that, so that we have that recorded now. We can send that out to people and we can say, hey, look, being a model and being an actor and being part of Model Me as a movement, you know, which Andreas obviously is part of too, that is still, like, anyone can be part of that. Do you know what I mean? And I really am glad that that's the way tonight's call went, because I want Model Me more than anything. Like you saw, I obviously launched that video on YouTube today, which I was really scared of doing. I didn't really want to share it, because Andreas pointed something out to me last week where he said, you know, you've not really explained what your vision is. You've just kind of gone deep in. I think it was you, Andreas, wasn't it? But also another film producer gave me some really valuable advice, and he was like, hey, look, you know, you've got to be careful with how you're using those words: train, eat, think like a model. And no one had ever said that to me yet, so I was like, oh wow. So I'm actually going to do some other videos to decipher it. But then I thought, you know what, I'm just being a pussy by not posting it. At the end of the day, it doesn't need to be in chronological order. So what I want to say to you all, the lesson from that is, lesson number 2 of the night is, stop being pussy. Like, I'm sorry, stop being a pussy. Like, every single one of you, stop being a pussy. Like, I'm sorry, just man up. Like, what's wrong with you? You can't talk to 10 people a day. Like, man up. Like, seriously? Like, you can't ask someone over a coffee, you know, that you meet over a counter that's nice to you, if you can have their face. Like, man up, stop being a pussy. You know, you meet someone on the tube. Oh, Andreas. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. I'm sorry. I didn't know I was unmuted. But yes, I mean, I'm going to lift my hand up because I wanted to share with you. I wanted to support what you're saying. It's you know, can I? Okay, so here we go, guys. Here we go. We're on fire today. Okay, so what, you know, Tasha's talking about a very important point, and I think I touched upon it when I was sharing at the call. The point is, we become what we exercise. So we become what we habitually do. So it's not so much about being pussy. So yes, it is, because if you have the capacity to be badass, why are you shrinking back to fit in, right? Because there are a lot of people that I mean, here we are. All of us are here because Tasha stepped up and she's created this wonderful movement of Model Me. That's her vision, right? That's her vision. But every one of us, and I want to point out, every one of us has a model version of ourselves. And all it is, this movement is simply bring out the Model Me, bring out your model version, right? That means your story is valuable, your movement is valuable, the way you show up is valuable, and your voice is very important. But we're waiting for you to raise your voice. And you will not raise your voice until you make it a habit. That is why, you know, it's also amazing that, as you pointed out, Tasha, that today you went unscripted, because what we don't want is to have all these steps that we have to do before we actually start sharing from our heart. The key thing is to share from your heart. Practice, do everything that you need to do in order to set it up, but then, like acting, we know our lines, but then we have to forget it. We have to be open to what happens in the moment, and we have to go along with that. That's why preparation is very important, but it's also crucial that you bring that spontaneity, because that spontaneity will connect you to your greatness and to your badass. And that's what I wanted to say, Tasha. I wanted to applaud you, and I think I applaud you. You're super duper, and I love that makeup. It's kind of creepy because I like it so much. It's bringing out the straight guy out.
Horrible yellow light.
No,
I
no,
gross,
so I hope that was valuable.
Something actually insanely valuable. And you know, bless Andreas, he always says to me, "Oh, is it okay if I share? Like, do you mind if I share with your team?" And I'm like, yeah, because not only is he American, so Americans, he's had a very different upbringing to what we have had. So also that adds a lot of value, but also he's in a totally different career to all of us. And he's a guy, right? This team undeniably is main women. And of course we want to teach guys. Like we have Daryl, that's a new team member that was on the team call the other night. He's a real man, you know, but very into spirituality, and I live with the spiritual side, and he's such a, honestly, when you guys meet him, you'll be like, what a character. What I love about him, and why I'm not surprised he's in the team, is he's so unapologetically himself. He does not give a, you know, he just doesn't give a shit. Like, he was at our filming thing, and Astor will vouch for it. He was just like popping and going around and just didn't really care, and everyone was a bit like, and then I actually sat in his interview, like I didn't sit in everyone's, I sat on only 5 people's, and because I was really trying to mingle and trying to, like, you know, like watch from a side, and you know, and I sat in his thing, and he came out, and it turns out he's this really in touch and tune guy with himself, and you know, had really big visions on impacting parts of the world. And oh my god, I sat there and was like, did not expect that. So the lesson in that, you know, I like to say lessons today, obviously, as you can tell. And the lesson is just don't judge, like literally. And what I really want to say to you was like, what are you waiting for? Like, what are you waiting for? I had a really deep conversation with Rebecca this week, and I was like, babe, you've just got to own it. You have just got to own it. That's the only difference between you and NMG. You just got to own it. And it's like, that is a skill. That is something you have to build on. It's something you've got to practice, like, of course. For me, I hate being war and real and bringing this up with you, and I don't mean to take it back to me, but I'm just trying to show you how it's something that I challenged and I'm bringing back on myself. You know, as a woman, being told that you look overweight and you look too big is like demoralizing in every way, shape, or form. But as a woman who's in an industry where my job is how I look, right? Every day I have to check in on myself, by the way, every single day. And this is the thing I want to say to you all. You've got to check in with yourself every day. You've got to check in with yourself every single day and check in and be like, am I really being all I can be? Am I really doing everything I said I would do? Am I really being the person that I want to be? Because quite frankly, if you're not, then why not? Honey, your life could take away tomorrow. And you have got to make sure that, you know, what was it happened this week? I spoke about it on Thursday. You know, if your life ended tomorrow, like, what would you want people to say about you? And I don't mean to be morbid. I want you to look at that in a positive way and think, you know what, like, if the worst happened tomorrow, like, who would I call? If today was your last, really, what would you do? Like, really, really, what would you do? You know, who would you call? Who would you speak to? And I don't mean in a literal sense. Like, please don't get on me and go, oh, well, I quit my job and I go on holiday. Like, no, you wouldn't. Like, who would you call? And who would you, like, would you really share this mission from the heart? And would you really share this endlessly? And would you really stop caring about what other people think of you? Because quite frankly, like, I was scared of posting that YouTube video, and then, you know what? I said, you know what, Tash? Stop being a pussy, number 1. Number 2 is, so what? It's not going to be in chronological order. Like, so what? Number 3, if people question it, people look at you and they think, oh my God, arrogant cow, like, what makes you different? If they do that, then guess what? They're not the kind of person I want in my team anyway. Like, I don't, and you know, I really don't want that kind of person. I want someone that's going to, you know, love and care for other people in the team and be unapologetically themselves, like, you know, like Daryl is. And I really want to say to you all, like, the week is not over. The month is not over. Do not treat March like it has gone. I have seen people hit SDD in 2 days. You can still, every single one of you hit SDD. You know, there is no way that you can't. Like, seriously, you can. So I really want you to all, you know, whether it's go into bed straight away tonight, so you get up in the morning and you start fresh, straight up to you, or you work till late hours in the morning. Whatever it is your thing, this is your thing, this is your life, this is your business. But I want each and every single one of you to act like tomorrow is the first of the month, and you build hard now. You do not wait till the 1st of April to start building hard. You build hard now. You treat April like a 5-week month, not like a 4-week month that starts in a week's time. You know what? I didn't do very well this month. I'm just going to give up and I'm just going to, you know, build on next month. No, don't do that. Tomorrow you wipe the slate clean, you start fresh. Tomorrow's April the 1st. Happy April Fools, everybody. Not for our team, because guess what? We ain't fools. We are in one of the best opportunities in the world right now. It's just whether you decide to kick ass and do it or not. If you are not ready, that's totally fine. I'll meet you where you're at. Like, as some of you have probably noticed that, like, the thing is, like, you know, 4 weeks ago, I had the time to be able to sit on our coaching call with everyone. I had that time. Now I don't have that time because I'm shooting so much, like 5, 6, this is my 6th shoot of the week, which I'm blessed to say, but, you know, very time consuming. But guess what? My business still grew this week. I still did my DMO. I still did my follow-ups. And I recognized that I need to do more of those. So as of tomorrow, I'm going to start having early mornings. I'm going to start going to bed at 12 o'clock. I'm going to start behaving.
Can I also say something? Can I say something? You did not discover that you had to do more until you took action.
Yeah.
Like, the thing is, we can think and we can program, we can wish, we can desire and all that stuff. The only thing that will change your life, the only thing that will bring exactly what you're looking for is action. The only thing that will reflect back to you where you are, and you should embrace it wherever you are, is action. That's it. Yeah. We can think about it. I can draw it. I can, you know, fantasize, close my eyes, tuck, cuddle, pet my cat and all that stuff. But it's not going to get me the life that I want. And I will add, you know, I will stress again, we are habits. If you're seeing Tasha right now, just speaking the way she is, she was not born doing this. She became, this that we're seeing right now is a sum of constant actions and choices that she's made. So why is that so valuable? It's because if she has done it simply by repeating certain things over and over and over again, then that means that you guys can make those changes. So, you know, as far as building for the, like, as if tomorrow is the end of the world, absolutely. Forget the dates. Forget the dates as far as like the end of the month, at the beginning of the month. Forget it. Build, and one day you look around and say, "Oh my God, look at what I built." But if you're like saying, "Well, it's, you know, it's much too thick. It's almost over." Well, I'll do it on the 1st. Trust me, I have worked more on my before picture, like my before, you know, like, fattening up, like, oh, I'll start my diet tomorrow after I finish this pint of ice cream. You know, I've worked so much on that. And I look at the swim, now that I'm swimming, there's no hiding, right? There's a little I was going to say latex, but it's not latex. It's a little tiny little tiny swimsuit. And it's just me, the water, and the swimsuit. There's no sucking it in, and there's no this and that, contorting, and shadows and selfies, right? It's me there, and it's valuable. It's awkward, but then now I'm saying, well, this is not what I want for my life. So now ice cream is tasting differently, and my choice, and my saying no to ice cream, even if it's just like, okay, this last spoon, no, I'm not gonna do it, and spitting it out. That's one step, and that's why I said last time, like the conversation, guys, we need to start celebrating just that one step, because that one step is the one step that starts a 1,000-mile journey, and you have to celebrate, and you have to develop you as your best cheerleaders, because, you know, Tasha's gonna be busy, I'm gonna be busy, Yvette is gonna be busy, and then you're gonna be alone, and you're gonna be like, boo. Boo! No, you're gonna be like, fuck yeah, we want to go to your party. Okay, we want to go to your party. So get into the habit of celebrating. Get into having a hauling ass, because your life will be a result of what you do today. So do something today that your future self will freaking build a monument for you.
Yeah, so true.
The end for now.
Thanks so much for sharing. I love how much passion you bring to the cause. It's just magic. And you're bang on right, you know, like, my mum can happily vouch for me. I was not this person even a year ago. I was not this person as a teenager. I was someone, can you believe this? This is hilarious. I was with the guy I'm kind of dating, which is, I really need to slow that down. But anyway, kind of hard when he's a nice guy, right? Anyway, I was with him this morning and I was telling him how I was looking at pictures of my mum and me when I was younger, and I went, you know what, I used to hate pictures of myself as a teenager. And he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, Mum, do you remember that? Can you vouch for that? I used to hate pictures of myself with the family and on my own as a teenager. I used to hate it. I was like, no, you're not taking a picture of me. And now look at me. Now look at me. I'm model. Things change. You can change. Things happen. I built myself up to be this model I am today. The reason I'm a model that's sought after is because I work my butt off. I show up on every set with a positive attitude, and people remember me and they recommend me all the time, and they go, you need to hire that girl. And also, from a mindset point of view, like, I have not, if I had had what happened to me in Milan, if I did not have the mental strength that I knew that I'd had in the past, if I'd have not had that, oh my God, I would have ended up in a, I don't even want to say it. I don't even want to say it. My auntie, if you don't know about me, Mum, I hope you don't mind me sharing. My auntie is anorexic and bulimic and has been all my life, and has been almost my mum's life. And you know what? It's been a sad, sad truth that's been on my family's lips forever, that one of us is going to be anorexic and one of us is going to be bulimic. It's been on my family's lips forever. So my mum's mind every day, I'm sure, when she thinks about me in this industry, like, and I don't blame her because we've seen it happen. But you know what? Because I have this business, because this business has made me who I am, because I've been introduced to some incredible people, because I built myself up and I listened to Tony Robbins and I read the right stuff and I surround myself with the right people. Guess what? When they turned around to me in Milan and they told me I wasn't good enough, yes, it damaged me, and yes, I'll remember it forever. But you know what? If I'd have not had this business, I would have turned out into a very different person and my life would have gone a very different way. But because of the business, yeah, I went through some hard times. For about 4.5 weeks, I wasn't me. And then I got back to England and I figured myself back out. And now look at me. I am on fire, I tell you. I just got the courage to go through a breakup, guys. I've never gone through I haven't been single for 9 years and I love the single life. I love it. Not because I can be a whore, that's not the reason, but because I'm just on my own. But my mum will vouch for me and say, I've always had a rock. I've always had a guy that I can lean on. I've always had someone that I can go, oh, honey, I can't pay my bills. Can you do that for me? Not anymore. Time to be a strong, independent, single woman, right? And I don't say that to you because I'm feeling sorry for myself and like that. I'm saying that to you because if I can do that, and if I can do that, then every single one of you can go through that. We all got shit. We all got issues. We all got problems. And you know what? It's okay. Be real, be raw, be open, be vulnerable. Share your story with such passion and love and fire. People are going to respond to you because they're going to go, oh my God, this girl is real. She's real. I want to be friends with her because this girl is real, So I really just, the lessons that I really want you to take from this is just be you, be real. That's what I want. The energy, that's the kind of people I want to attract in our team. I don't want anyone that's fake I don't want that. I want people that are real. That's why every single one of you is joined, because you attracted to someone in this team that was real and you liked them and you thought, you know what, I can hang out with them. That's why Andreas is an amazing sideline for us, because he's real. Can't get realer than that. That's why he works so closely with us. And I'm selective of who I want to work with and who I want to affect our team, right? But if there's anyone I want you to be inspired by, it would be him, right? So you got to look at that and you got to think, okay, well, who am I being introduced to? Who is Tasha putting forward on the calls? Who is Tasha linking us up with? Who is she spending her time with? Because I am not spending my time with losers. I am not spending my time with fools. If I'm not, then why the hell are you? And you should not be. If the question is the answer. Some of them you can't help because it's your mum or it's your friend, it could be your boyfriend, whatever. Some of it you can't help, and that's fine, but you've got to learn to block that out. And so, you know what? This is what I believe in. This is what I'm doing. I love you, but if you love me, you respect me, and this is what I'm doing. Thank you very much. Your opinion does not matter to me right now because I'm going ahead.
So we are here to inspire people to where they want to go, not necessarily to change them. And that's a big difference, right? We inspire them by who we are and how we are showing up. Listen, respect everyone where they are, because that's their journey and that's where they have to be. And but it's more important for you to spend your energy on building you and showing up as you can, you can show up as you need to be showing up. And everyone else will suddenly turn around and say, what are you doing? What are you doing? Right? You cannot do that if you're paying attention to what they're doing and how you think they should be living their lives. We're not here for that. We're just here. We imagine that you are a big shining flame and your job is to climb on top of the mountain so that all those other lost flames can see where you are and can go towards you. We all have a tribe. And all we need to do is to build ourselves so brilliantly that the moment that person sees us, they know what we're about and they go towards us, or they just simply walk away, keep going, looking for their own, right? Tasha is a very clear example of that. She is bubbles, she and I had not met until a few months back, right? And yet we are kindred spirits. The reason why I identify, and I hope that the reason why she identified that in me is because we recognized ourselves. We were showing up so authentically that she was able to identify things in me, and I was able to identify things in her. And that's what our job is, to be so authentic, so heart-led, that we are just ourselves. And that's something that is constantly unfolding, right? So don't think that you have to have it all perfect. It's just start with what you know and keep moving towards that goal. The end.
Agreed. Start with what you know and just stop worrying about it. Don't think about it too much. Just do it. Honestly, you'd be so surprised if you spent an hour following up with people, or an hour messaging new friends. Hi, how are you? How's everything? You'd be inspired. So you can only inspire yourself. You can't be inspired by me. I mean, I know I'm blessed that some of you think I do inspire you, but it's not me that inspires you. It's just the action that I do that inspires you. So go and do that action yourself. There's nothing I'm doing that you can't do. Nothing, absolutely nothing. I wouldn't do something that you can't do because that's not duplicatable. And I want to grow a team that's duplicatable, right? So at the end of the day, if you're not where you want to be, this is why I want to finish the call. I'm actually going to jump off and we're going to finish just 10 minutes early. Just to be respectful of everyone's time, and also because I have to go back into the shoot. I said 15 minutes. I'm never 15 minutes. So I have this call with Jessie in 15 minutes too, bloody hell. Anyway, so closing the gap exercise. Where are you now? Where do you want to be? What have you got to do to get there? That's it. Simple. That's how I'm going to finish the call. I would like you all to be really open and share it on the Facebook group, not the WhatsApp group. I'd really like us to focus more on the Facebook group. Andreas, I need to make sure you're in that. I'd really like us to focus more stuff on the Facebook group because it stays there and it's remembered. And if you put hashtag closing the gap, then we can all go back and check that. Rebecca, just post the call on at the team training call on the group whenever you can, please. Actually, I just really want to say to you all, you've all got this. You have all got this. Don't let anything stop you or get in the way. The closing the gap exercise should fill that gap for you. And let's go to bed and think, right, tomorrow, first day, the rest of my life. Let's start business fresh. Pretend you're brand new. The first 2 weeks of business, this week and next week, what is your job? Pretend you're brand new. Your job is to get me in front of as many people as possible. That is your job. Get me on as many three-way calls, as many three-way chats, as many three-way coffees as physically, humanly possible. I will go out my way a million times to make sure you are doing that. I probably worked at least 50, 60 hours this week on business, and it was amazing. And I've had a great week, and I have driven myself, and I've done 6 photo shoots. And, I've had a crazy week, and I've still had a social life, and I've actually taken time out, believe it or not. So this week I'm going to go even harder. I'm going to go even better. I'm going to be even stronger. And you know why? Because this week I didn't get the results that I wanted. So what am I going to do? My closing the gap exercise is I want to have 50 team members by the end of the month, because I believe as a team that we have a movement. We have something that's empowering other people to make positive, impactful changes in their lives that's going to empower them and change them for the rest of their life. I believe, and I know that is my vision, that we as a team can have 15 new team members this month. We're probably on nearly 10, which is great. Hi, Savannah, lovely of you to join us. Don't worry, we've recorded it so you can check back. She left. Oh well. But so what have I got to do this week to make sure that we've got 50 team members this month? What have I got to do? That's the exercise. But at the same time, even though I'm kind of saying this month, I'm getting rid of that. I'm going, you know what? I just want to get 50 new team members in our team. Why? Because then I know that Rebecca's got a growing team up in the north. Then I know that Sanchez's got a growing team in London. Ashley's got a growing team, etc., etc., etc. Right? So my closing the gap exercise is where I want to be. Where am I now is we haven't got 50 team members in the month. Active team members, that's what I'm saying. So we haven't got that. Where do I want to be? I want us to have 50 team members. And what am I going to do to get there? I'm going to start following up hardcore. I'm going to follow up more. I'm going to be better with my connections on new people. I'm going to make sure I support my team in every way that I can and do as many three-way calls with them as possible. I'm going to do better coaching calls and more coaching calls with my team. I'm coming now. This week I checked in with Rebecca more, and I did some really good calls with her, and that was really fun. And I hope that Rebecca feels like, you know, that kept her going and that kept her inspired and that kept her moving. But I recognise Rebecca's someone that wants it, she's working for it, so I'm going to help her as much as I can. But I respect that some of you, it's not your right time, or you're going a bit slower, and that's totally fine. But, you know, don't expect me to be on the phone to you every day, because I can't. I have to be there for people that really want it. That makes sense? Anyway, I have to go because I really need to go back and finish this shoot. Love you all. Thank you all so much for joining the call. And yeah, Rebecca will post the training, and I'd really love it if you all shared and, you know, was really honest about your closing the gap exercise. Okay, big love. See you all soon.
Bye.
Thanks.